Something entered our solar system quietly. It did not knock, explode, or create a bright flash in the sky. Instead, it moved silently, precisely, and unbelievably fast. At first, astronomers assumed it was just another icy rock drifting through deep space near the edges of our solar system. But as scientists observed it more carefully, they realized something was wrong. The object did not follow the normal rules that all known celestial bodies obey. Now scientists call this mysterious object 3I Atlas, and its final transmission has left many researchers stunned. What they discovered is not just unusual, it seems almost impossible. Some experts are already whispering a possibility that others are afraid to say out loud. This object might not be natural. In this video, we explore what makes 3I Atlas so terrifyingly unique. We look at why its trajectory appears unnatural and what the James Webb Space Telescope recently detected, evidence that could completely change our understanding of the universe or even suggest that we are not alone in it. 3I Atlas was first detected in June by the Atlas Observatory, a system designed to identify dangerous objects that could potentially collide with Earth. At first, the object did not seem special. It was far away, moving fast, and extremely dim. But then something changed. An amateur astronomer reviewing old observation data noticed something surprising. This was not the object's first appearance. Older images showed 3I Atlas moving along a hyperbolic trajectory, which is a clear sign that the object came from outside our solar system. Only two such visitors had ever been recorded before, Oumuamua and Borisov. Both created huge excitement among scientists and the public. But 3I Atlas appeared to be very different. The object's speed was extreme, over 150,000 miles per hour, and it seemed to be accelerating in a way that gravity alone could not explain. This immediately caught the attention of astrophysicists. When an object accelerates without a clear gravitational reason, it suggests that something else might be pushing it. Some researchers wondered if the force might be coming from inside the object itself, like propulsion. Artificial propulsion. The kind of system you would expect from a probe, or perhaps even a message. To understand why this discovery is so important, we need to go back to 2017. That year, Oumuamua passed through our solar system. It moved at a strange angle, was long and thin, and did not behave like a normal comet. It produced no visible tail and showed no signs of releasing gas, which comets normally do. Yet it still accelerated. One astrophysicist from Harvard, Avi Loeb, suggested that Oumuamua might have been an artificial probe. Now, he is suggesting something similar about 3I Atlas. Unlike Oumuamua, which surprised scientists and disappeared quickly, 3I Atlas is still here. That means researchers have time to study it carefully. And what they are discovering is deeply unsettling. Although the object is almost 4 times farther from the Sun than Earth, it is surprisingly bright. In fact, it is too bright. If it were a normal rock, it would need to be about 20 kilometers wide to reflect that much light. But observations suggest it does not have that much mass. In other words, it is reflecting more light than it should, almost as if it is made of something metallic or extremely smooth. As scientists tracked its movement, they noticed something else strange. The object was not spinning chaotically like most asteroids. It was not shedding dust or gas. It simply continued moving steadily, almost as if it had a destination. Because of these mysteries, scientists requested a closer look using the powerful instruments of the James Webb Space Telescope. Webb is the most advanced telescope humanity has ever built, capable of observing faint signals across the universe. Researchers used Webb's infrared sensors to analyze the object's composition. The results were immediate and very strange. 3I Atlas did not produce the heat signature expected from a rocky asteroid or a comet. Its temperature remained unusually stable. Even stranger, some infrared signals were missing entirely, as if certain materials were absorbing or blocking the emissions. Then scientists discovered something even more surprising. The telescope detected a faint repeating pattern, not in visible light, but in the object's radio profile. The signal pulsed irregularly. It was not regular enough to be a beacon, but it was also not random enough to be simple noise. Scientists describe it as a type of signature that natural interstellar objects do not normally produce. It was not exactly a message, but it seemed deliberate. No one wanted to say it directly, but everyone was thinking the same thing. Normally, interstellar objects simply pass through our solar system once and continue on their journey into deep space. But 3I Atlas behaved differently. At first, it appeared to be moving toward the outer planets. Then it slightly changed its path. Instead of continuing outward, it began moving toward the inner solar system, closer to the Sun. Scientists initially considered gravitational effects as the explanation. However, the timing and calculations did not match the natural gravitational curves they expected. Even stranger, the object's closest approach to Mars is predicted for October 3, 2025. Then, on October 23, it will pass near the Sun at a distance about twice that between Earth and the Sun. Earth will be safely on the other side of the Sun at that time. But by December 2025, the object will pass close to Earth's orbital path before disappearing again into deep space. This trajectory feels oddly intentional. It is almost as if the object was never meant to hit Earth, only to come close enough to observe us. When scientists studied the radio pulses more closely, they discovered something fascinating. Two independent research groups, one in Japan and another in France, analyzed the timing patterns within the signal. They found repeating intervals that matched mathematical sequences. These included prime numbers, Fibonacci patterns, and even time intervals similar to seconds and minutes used on Earth. This suggested that the object might have some form of internal timing system. One physicist in Prague proposed an even more disturbing idea. The timing intervals closely matched the orbital resonance patterns of Jupiter's moons. If that is true, it raises a strange question. How could an object from another star system know so much about our planetary system? Further observations revealed that the object's shape might also be changing. Infrared images taken weeks apart showed slight structural differences, as if the surface was shifting. Some scientists believe the object might not be solid at all. Instead, it could be made of extremely thin materials similar to solar sails, structures that use starlight for propulsion. If that is correct, the object could subtly change its shape to steer through space without engines. Around this time, something unusual began happening in the scientific community. Several observatories suddenly stopped publishing updates about 3I Atlas. A university tracking page disappeared with a 404 error. Online communities discussing the object were shut down. Even a European Space Agency astronomer who shared data images deleted her social media account shortly afterward. To many observers, this silence felt coordinated. Some scientists quietly admitted they had been told not to speculate publicly. Meanwhile, spectroscopy analysis from a Chilean observatory suggested the presence of a rare isotope on the object, one that normally only appears in controlled fusion reactions on Earth. If confirmed, this would mean one of two things. Either our understanding of physics is incomplete, or the object was engineered with advanced technology. Even more strangely, comparisons with Oumuamua revealed that many of the same anomalies had appeared back in 2017. But there was one big difference. Oumuamua was silent. 3I Atlas appears to be broadcasting something. Inside the research halls of the SETI Institute, questions began to grow. Leaked documents suggested that the signal had been detected months before the public learned about it. Some insiders claimed the signal was encoded across multiple frequency bands at once, almost like a complex broadcast designed for receivers we do not yet possess. Even more unsettling, researchers detected a faint echo signal after the main transmission, as if the object had been waiting for a reply. As 3I Atlas moves deeper into the solar system, scientists are racing to collect as much data as possible. Eventually, the object will move behind the Sun or become impossible to track. Some scientists believe it will simply leave. Others are not so sure. A growing number of astrophysicists believe the object might remain in our solar system in a kind of holding orbit, or perhaps release something before it disappears. Recently, unusual signal disturbances were also detected near Europa, one of Jupiter's moons. Europa has long fascinated scientists because it likely contains a hidden ocean beneath its icy surface. Now, strange interference patterns appear to correlate with the movement of 3I Atlas. Some theorists speculate that if ancient alien artifacts ever existed in our solar system, Europa would be an ideal place to hide them. And now, something may have activated them. Meanwhile, military satellite networks have also stopped publicly sharing tracking data about the object. Official responses remain vague, but rumors suggest classified meetings between NASA, military space agencies, and intelligence organizations. Some reports even claim that a reflection signal bounced off 3I Atlas and returned distorted, almost like a digital handshake attempt. One group of cryptologists interpreted the pulse timing not as communication but as geometry. When converted into spatial ratios, the pulses formed a three-dimensional design. The structure looked like a blueprint for a technological device. In other words, the object itself might be the message. Eventually, the pulses suddenly stopped. The object fell silent and continued drifting without further signals. Some scientists believe the silence means the mission is complete. Others fear it means something bigger has already begun. One controversial theory suggests the signal might even contain patterns similar to amino acid frequencies, the building blocks of life. If true, the object might not only be transmitting information, but also genetic instructions. Even more disturbing, an experimental AI analyzing the signal began producing complex symbol patterns resembling early human languages. The system started forming recursive loops, something that should not happen without intelligent feedback. Researchers shut the AI down immediately. Then another mystery appeared. A small spacecraft monitoring solar winds near the Kuiper Belt suddenly went offline after detecting an electromagnetic spike matching the object's pulse signature. Its final blurry image showed a distant geometric shadow. Not round, not irregular, but angular and symmetrical. The probe was officially declared lost. Some insiders now call it the first casualty. Today, scientists are still debating what 3I Atlas really is. Some believe the signal was not just data but a test, measuring how humanity responds to unknown phenomena. It may have monitored our curiosity, our technology, and even our global communication systems. In other words, the probe might not have been studying space. It might have been studying us. Now the object continues its silent journey, leaving behind more questions than answers. Governments remain quiet. Telescopes remain focused. And the data continues to reveal new mysteries. Perhaps 3I Atlas was never meant to speak directly to scientists or satellites. Perhaps it was meant to reach the minds of those curious enough to question it. Maybe the message was not meant to warn humanity. Maybe it was meant to awaken it. And if that is true, then this story is not the end. It might only be the beginning.